Hello and welcome to the Daily Brown Bag. Today we're going to be talking about Facebook reviews and whether they are able to take on Yelp and Google. I'm Chad Hill and I'm joined by Adam Stetzer.
Yeah, good morning, Chad. Welcome everybody to the Brown Bag. I think this is an interesting topic because Google and Yelp have really been the dominant players in the local review space, but Facebook's got a very interesting opportunity, and I want to explore this a little bit here, Chad. Facebook has been a great place for small and local businesses to connect with their local communities. On the grassroots level, it's a great way for them to have strong social connections and share information. And of course, Facebook's advertising accounts for 85% of their revenue. They are an advertising company, so similar to Google, it's easy to forget because of the usage pattern of Facebook and because of the history of being free and because people think of it in terms of its functionality, not in terms of its business model, so a lot like Google. But the reality is they're an advertising company, and I think in this local space, you and I would probably agree, they're behind Yelp and Google when it comes to local reviews. So it seems like they're stepping up their game, to get into the review arena. They're trying to expand their rating system, and we've covered some of these numbers before. They have significant reach, Facebook does. 699 million active daily users, with 128 million of them being in the United States. This includes over 16 million local businesses that are active on Facebook. And local pages do get viewed, 645 million views with 13 million comments each week. So, Facebook's very well positioned here, both in terms of how many users they have, how many businesses are in there, and in terms of the engagement that's happening there. There are also over 1 million active advertisers globally, probably dying for an opportunity to put more money and have more engagement locally in Facebook. So I think there's an interesting fight gearing up here. I'd be interested, Chad, on your thoughts on what do we see Facebook doing and how do we digest that for our internet advertiser community?
Right, and for those of you who are thinking, well, what does this really mean to Facebook and where is it in Facebook? The reviews aren't necessarily a new thing. They've been in Facebook for a little while, but they were sort of buried. The big news here is that the review option is going to be placed in the user's news feed and give them the ability to actually, just like they like a page, will actually be able to write a review and then of course determine who they want to share that review with, whether it's friends or friends of friends, and they'll have that option just like they would with other content that you create in Facebook. So that's on the user side. Now, Adam, as you said, what this means for the reason Facebook's doing this is, of course, because they want more time on site. They've got this big community of people who are sharing and creating all this content, and this is another opportunity to get more engagement on the site, more people sharing information, and then, of course, as you said, Adam, a great way to monetize it because now you've got all this local data coming through, which we know if there's a million advertisers in that, and now there are millions more out there who are waiting for more local targeting options. So these are really great things. A couple things for small businesses is, of course, this is another way to build brand awareness and to have a presence in the Facebook platform. So it's another good option there for creating good reviews. I think the downside, of course, is that this is also another place that small business has to be watching and managing the reputation. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's getting harder and harder. Small business only has so much bandwidth, and as there's more and more places that people are creating content, it also means there's more and more places that people are expecting responses and expecting you to be managing that platform. So some definitely big changes there. I think another thing this does is that this also is a great way of overcoming some of the fake reviews that people complain about. We also talked about sort of astroturfing, and so because people typically you're built in your social graph in Facebook, this is a great way for Facebook to have real authentic reviews that are actually created by your friends, and therefore might, depending on your friend, you might trust them, you might not, but at least you know who's giving you the review. So I think that, I was going to say that, just to wrap it up, I think that, basically people are on Facebook socially. This is a great place for Facebook to go.
Yes, you got a fascinating number of points in there. I mean, the authenticity angle is really interesting. As you said, Chad, the understanding of the social graph, I mean, Facebook has that data better than anybody. I know Google wants to have it with Google Circles, but I don't know how well that's actually played out. Yelp, I don't think really understands that. And we can't forget that Twitter is going to be showing up to this game pretty soon with their IPO. You know, they're turning that corner too, and so they're going to be wanting to get in on this in some way. But they really don't emphasize social graph information because their delivery model is so different, with the platform being so different. So a lot of very interesting points. And I think at the end of the day, and you covered this, Chad, when you were talking to the Washington Post the other day, small businesses can see this as, oh, awesome, another great opportunity, another outlet for me, or, oh my goodness, another thing I have to manage. It's just so confusing. I almost miss the yellow pages, even though I hated them. So I think that's a great place to close on this. We would like your comments. Do your customers, or do you as a small business see this and go, excellent, I want another opportunity, this is a great play for me, or do you see it as a headache and, oh boy, another thing to keep track of, it's really difficult? We'd love to hear those stories. And that wraps up our brown bag for today. We're here every day. We're hoping you'll subscribe to our video series, and we'll see you back tomorrow.